Oh, man.
Oh, good day, mate. How are you?
G'day. How are you, Sean?
All right, mate. Welcome back to the West Ham Network, everybody. Wednesday evening. Oh, mate, look, there's so many comments back there. Wednesday evening again, 11 o'clock this time, 9 a.m. for the man to my left. Come on, let's get the weather report out of the way quickly. Come on.
Quite overcast, geezer. Pretty boring today. It's quite overcast and only hitting 29, 30. So, yeah,
Totally.
Cooled down. It's good. It's cooled down a bit, which is because it was quite brutal over the weekend. It was very hot. So, yeah, it's good that it's cooled down a bit.
Okay. Any shark attacks?
No shark attacks. None reported, geezer. I don't know if there's any missing fucking surfers, but none reported. So...
Right. Good. All right, let's have a little look and see who's in the chat. I am going to miss out quite a few comments. I'm just going to say hello to everybody that's in. So, first of all, usual, good evening to you, sir. Evening all. Happy Amaret is a stalker and I don't know what to do.
Run, usual, run.
Yeah. Soha, he says, mutual stalking, it seems usual. That's probably about right. Happy's in the house, giggling, obviously. Maltese Hammer, usual, you here for a front row seat. You all were, mate, because this was at 10 past 10. So that's 50 minutes ago, you lot were chattering away. Lawrence is there.
Hey, Lawrence.
I was there also. See you at 11. Happy's, you getting... You're not getting rid of us that easy, network. Well, that's true. Right, so Sullivan looks like Sid James. That's about right. Well, we're
that's
not going to.
Was that fucking Anton put that photo up? It's man,
of course it was.
Trying to throw bricks at it, didn't you? Right, weirdo.
Yeah. Usual. Apparently, you were messaging me. I don't know how you were messaging me, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on the screen. I'm going to leave that there for a little while. And you guys can contact me on either of those two formats. Who else? Hang on, I've gone too far down the line. Here we go. Old man G's on the firm.
Good old man.
Sir. Bob Dylan's shown up. Thank you very much, Bob.
Wow.
Moyes and Sullivan now. Yeah.
Is that the title of this new song?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I do listen to the occasional Bob Dylan tune. I've got to be honest. But it's usually these old classic stuff, you know, and it gets thrown in with like Steppenwolf and all that kind of stuff as well. You know, I do like some of the old classic stuff. Mark Pendleton, good evening to you, sir. Wonder when we'll next win a game. That's a good question.
Who would know, Mark?
That's it. Probably the last game before the counter ends, says old man. Usual. I never messaged. I just meant I left the first comment on here. Oh, right. Okay. Well, anyway, my thing will be up on the screen momentarily. Sounds terrible. What is that? My microphone sounds terrible. Tell me if it is. I will do something about it.
Not too bad from there, though.
Oh, good. Okay. Kieran's indoors today. No birdie song. Oh no. He's just got the camera facing the house today.
Yeah. I'm still on the balcony.
Yeah,
well,
the birds are behind the camera tonight.
Birds are very quiet though. There's nothing.
Yeah. Mark Simmons, or Simon Simmons, I'm going to go with. Evening all.
Hi, Mark.
Who else we got? Alan Dunn. Good evening to you, sir. Oh, morning to you. And any ladies on the channel as well. James Lampreau. Good evening and good morning, gents, from sunny Melbourne.
Yeah, James. I think I saw his name earlier on the.
Yeah. Mr. Singleton. Robert's in the house. Good evening to you, sir.
Robert.
Luke Legends in the house.
Lukey.
Terrible too. And old man, no, the weather in Oz. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, the weather in Oz sounds horrible. Okay, yeah. Right, so as the thumbnail suggested, what's Sullivan been up to? Here we go, look, there it is. What's Sully been up to?
Don't show that picture again, for Christ's sake.
Oh, mate, it's horrid, isn't it? It's horrid. Yeah, so what's he been up to? He's probably been having secret affairs with Stochek's wife and David Moyes' wife, probably, something like that, isn't it? You know? Who knows? But I can tell you some news that I have just found out before we came on air. You know that young lad that we were after, Osman?
Yeah.
He's just signed a pre-contract agreement with Brighton.
With Brighton. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
What the merry hell are we doing? I mean, come on.
Well,
if he can sign that with Brighton, surely he could sign that with us.
Yeah, I just think there's a lot more to that. You know, we were talking to the wrong agent and all that. I don't believe half of that, man. There's something went on there. I don't know. And I mean, there are rumours that Sullivan pulled the plug on that deal. Right? The rumours are that Sullivan pulled the plug on it. Whether he did, I don't know. But there's more to it. But I remember when we were going Kudos, right? And I knew nothing about Kudos when we got him, right? No, but I did know, and I remember saying at the time, that Brighton were chasing him. I went, that's good enough for me. Get him, right? And here we go again, right? Because their track record's bloody good, isn't it? So you go with that.
Yeah.
And I thought, if he's starting to nick him off Brighton, he's doing the right thing here. And it has been a great signing. So when this young man come up, I heard then that Brighton were looking at this boy again. Now I watched that boy. I watched the usual YouTube crap you watch on him. And he looks really rapid, but really raw. So he did look a punt. You know, if you're going to spend 18 million, we're probably paying over the top, 15 million pounds. But Brighton were chasing him. I went, maybe we should
funny. As good as we remember him, Joe Cole was just a punt when he was promoted to the first team. He was a bit of a punt.
Yes and no.
Although as good as he was, it was still a punt. Putting him in amongst men.
Well, all young lads are. Yeah, all young lads. So Joe Cole.
We got a
was
bit of
just too outstanding.
Record. Yeah, but that Osman's supposed to be outstanding too, isn't he?
He's doing well. He's doing well in the league he's in. That's it. I mean, it's always like every transfer is a gamble, but there's no, sure things in transfers. You know what I mean? When we got Paquetá, I said it last week, man. I think the first few months he was poor, really poor, and then he starts shining. Then you realise what a good signing it was. So every Scamacca, didn't work out. I still thought he was a good player. I thought there was, but they're all gamble whether they fit in, whether they work out, whether the manager plays them to their strength. Everything's a combination of a lot of things, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. So, going back to Scamacca, I had a look at all of his goals for us. I, went through them all and watched them all on YouTube, and he took every single one of them beautifully.
Yeah, he finishes well.
Every single one of his goals was a quality finish. And you know, I'm pretty gutted that we did lose him because I thought he was going to be mustard, you know, for us.
I was. Same with Elliot, and I remember saying at the time, Elliot, get yourself out of this club because it's never going to work for you under Moyes, mate. He's never going to play you the way he should play you. And I thought the same as Skamaka. I thought they were good signings, but in the wrong team. So that's just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's very hard to find a striker that will suit Moyes unless he's fucking Antonio. So that's the type of play you need from Moyes. I don't believe that Bowen works up front. I just don't. I think you get more out of him on the right. So, you know what I mean? It's pointless to me. I can see him shining here and there in games, but ideally I'd rather see him out on the right and have a striker. And like I say, we see there yesterday that Antonio's training away with the team. Now, as much as that's not, you know, awe-inspiring having Antonio back, but he's going to be bloody needed, mate. We need all hands on deck for the rest of this season. And I think he could be good. He might have a little renaissance of you know, a couple of months, and that's what we're going to need. I think we need everybody now. We're about 3 bodies down that we got rid of, and only brought 1 loan signing in. So we are thin on the ground. And if you're talking about players that he's not really utilising like Cornet, then we are thin on the ground, mate. So we need Antonio. He might even get a start. Who knows? Whether he could start against Arsenal. I don't
know. Yeah. Before we went on there, we spoke about a rumour that I'd heard that David Moyes might just walk away, and not from the source that I have just put on the screen. This is the second person that I've heard it from now. The breaking news is that he might quit over fan unrest.
Wow. That's a rumour.
Yeah, it's a rumour. That's what it is, and it should only be regarded as a rumour because there's no foundation to it at all. And
well, I'm sure there's something. I don't know where the rumours come from. If it's rumours from your normal ITKs, then maybe there's something in it, or maybe it's just grandstanding going on. See, I think Moyes. This way, we won't go on about fucking Moyes and Moyes in, Moyes out bullshit. But I think he's desperate for a deal now. Because if I'm no guru, but I can see the writing on the wall for the rest of this season and the beginning of next season. I think we're in for tough times, especially the beginning of next season, where, like I said to you last week, I think we're going to lose about 8 players. So it's a massive rebuild, and it doesn't matter whether Moyes is in charge or a new manager. He's going to be up against it, mate. Big time. I don't care what manager you bring in. If you've got to rebuild a team from what we've got to do, when you see the players that are probably going to leave, are at the end of their careers, or the ones we don't want, or the ones that don't sign a new contract, we've got a massive rebuild, and that's going to be tough. If I don't care what manager you bring in, he's going to struggle next season. Now, I think Moyes knows what's coming. And he knows what's coming for the rest of the season as well. So he needs that. He wants that deal now. He doesn't want to do it at the end of the season, mate, because we don't know where we could be. We could have a hell of a bad run, or we might just hold our own. He
wants, basically, he wants to keep the iron in the fire while it's still hot. Because
it's a lot easier getting the deal when you're 6th, 7th, and 10th. This is the deal I think he needs now, wants now, and I can understand that. It's a good gig for him, and he's on good money, and he's got a lot of stature, being at West Ham for me. So I can see why he wants it, and I reckon he might be just saying he's probably pushing Sullivan now, saying, "Mate, you better give me that deal now, or I might walk." He might be just trying to pressure him, into signing up a new deal.
Yeah. More like Del Boy and Rodney. Oh, that's the dodgy brothers, Sullivan and Moyes. The breaking news is that Moyes will quit. Oh, I've already done that one. But Brighton will build Osman gradually. We need first teamers, and we don't give you time anymore. That's actually pretty accurate, Luke. Thank you. is punt rhyming slang. No, it's not. No. No.
It can be if you want it to be, mate.
Yeah. The old Thames punt. Right. Old man G said he would have preferred Jonathan Rowe.
I haven't seen enough of him myself, old man, but I've heard he's a good player, but I haven't seen enough myself. So.
Yeah, Luke reckons that Skamaka could start a fight in an empty room.
And what's wrong with that? That's what you want on a pitch. A bit like Mopé. Mopé's fucking pushing buttons all over the place the last 2 weeks.
I know, he is, isn't he? He is, yeah. Skamaka never adjusted to London life. Shame quality. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. James, that's exactly what I thought as well, mate. Bowen too lightweight up front. That's kind of what we were alluding to earlier.
Yeah, for me,
Kieran. Yeah.
I just when you've got a really, the weird thing watching that game the other day against Man United, we've got two great right wingers, right, in Kudus and Bowen, and neither of them were playing in the right wing. Weird, isn't it? He put Kudus on the left and Bowen up front, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're bloody good on the right wing, yet neither of them were playing on the right wing. And you go, wow. Does that make sense? I don't think
Go and buy a right winger so that I can turn him into a striker for one to the left winger. He's got a left winger standing on the bloody sideline.
So did he score it? Oh, good skill.
Yeah,
I've been watching the Ivory Coast and I'm always shocked when I see how they're up front for him, right? And they really scored late goals in the last two to keep going, and he's done it again.
That's the same nationality as Drogba was, yeah? Or is. Didier Drogba?
Yeah, he was Ivory Coast, wasn't he? Didier Drogba?
Yeah. And also Maxwell Cornet. He's also Ivorian.
What, mate? They got to the final.
And he didn't get to go.
No, well, no game time. No game time.
I know. But that's
same as Ben Rama. He never got to go either, did he? Because he weren't playing. He wasn't that good,
see the bullshit that we had a 50 million bid in January for Bowen. Okay.
You ain't getting him for that, are you?
Yeah, exactly. You might get a season-long loan for that. Remember Antonio that can play 90 minutes straight like a ball? Yeah.
And you never know, we might see a bit of it again. Also, mate, you just never know.
Yeah. To be fair, in the last calendar year, he hasn't had that many injuries.
Oh no, he's been good for about 3 years now, up until now, Budge. After he used to be terrible with his hamstrings and that. And whatever they did, they said they changed his diet.
What I'm saying is, since last January, we've had more or less a clean run with him in the squad. Do you know what I mean?
No, he's been pretty good up until now.
Very little, it's been very little absenteeism from him, and that apparently was down to them changing his diet.
Things like that, probably a bit training, a bit different, stretching maybe. Who knows? But he's been good, man. And look, he hasn't got his record at the beginning of this season. Not good. I mean, he only scored a couple of goals and he looked off it. So I'm just hoping he comes back, rejuvenated and gives us a lift. And he can do that, Antonio. When he's on beast mode, mate, he does give the team a lift and he gives you an outlet. I'm just hoping he's that Antonio that comes back. Really good.
Me too. Hustle, good evening to you, sir. Hustle Crow. He says, due to unrest with question marks, exclamation marks, etc. Listen, I'm not a manager, never have been, never will be, not anywhere near that kind of level. But David Moyes doesn't strike me as the sort of person that can take a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Unrest. I think he's the sort of guy that will bail out pretty quickly.
No, I just think he's trying to force the issue here, Gazer. To me, it's a tactic of trying to get them to hurry up and sign him up for another 2-3 years. I mean, that's the tactic. Even if you're letting out rumours that he might quit, that puts pressure on Sullivan to get it either done or not. And I think he's trying to pressure Sullivan into signing him up because he wants to stay. There's no ifs or buts about it. He wants to keep on this job. I don't think the fan unrest bothers him that much. I just think he's just trying to force the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, Maltese agrees with you, basically. I think they're putting it out there to stir the pot. And David Granger, he says, Antonio's saying West Ham hasn't seen the best of him because he's told not to shoot from outside the box.
Yeah, well, we've seen what happened when he does.
Yeah, but you also saw against the United States for Jamaica what can happen when
you can do
40-yarder.
Yeah, but I mean, you shouldn't take 50 shots to do it, mate. I think he scored one. I only remember him scoring one goal for West Ham outside the box, only once. So.
Yeah. Still just did a show on this, saber rattling and ball scratching. Yeah.
I think that's what it is, sir. I think that's what it is, mate.
Yeah. Antonio said that he played on the left at Forest, which is our problem position. Mark, listen, you could tell David Moyes that till you blew in the face. He's got a renowned left-sided attacker sitting on the bench.
No, but if you
now and again.
See, you could introduce Antonio on the left, right, and him being fluid with Bowen, and they switch. And if you can do that, and you can do that with got Kudos on the right, the same. He can switch with Bowen.
And if
you can have that Lucas, and I think Antonio might give you that if you put him on the left, because he is quite decent on there. And he doesn't put that ball in the box either.
Yeah, if you had Lucas Paquetá up there as well, behind them in the 10, then all four of them can rotate and really confuse the life out of defences.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm hoping we get Antonio on beast mode and not the Antonio that we see at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, well, the only way we're going to get him in beast mode is if he's played as a number 9, outright number 9.
More than likely.
That's beast mode for him. Otherwise,
But even when he did play number 9, mate, when he was so much on his own, he'd have to drift left. He'd have to drift right. But wherever the ball was coming out of defence, that's where he went. He followed the ball. Sometimes he picks up on the left, sometimes on the right, and sometimes in the middle, depending where the ball's coming out. If you ever watch Antonio, you see him, and he's actually said it many years ago about one of the best bits of advice he had is wherever the ball's coming, move to that side of the pitch. If it's in the middle, get to the middle. If it's in the left, get to the left, and be there to receive it. So, he will be fluid. But like I said, we just don't know how fit he is, whether he's fit enough to start. He definitely wouldn't be match fit, would he? He might be good for the last half hour.
Yeah, or for the first
in our next game, maybe.
For the first 45, maybe.
Nothing,
good evening, Helen. Thank you for joining us. You haven't missed an awful lot. You never do when it's us. It's just, random crap, basically. Look at what Moyes has done with $500 million. He's brought in some damn good players with some of that money, David. And, he's won us a trophy with some of that. So, sitting on the fence there, I'm a little bit, I'm afraid, but there you go. That's why Steiden has bought in. He has the skills to find the players we need. Sully and Moyes do not. Mike, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. Ludders, threatening the walk, apparently. Yeah, well, it's, like a few people have suggested, it's saber rattling. I agree with you, Kieran, says Alan. That's why I believe they brought in Heitinger by bringing him in with plenty of time to get used to the players and the players to get used to him.
Yeah, it's an interesting theory, that, isn't it? Heitinger could take over. Well, if he was I don't believe Moyes is serious about walking, but if he did, Heitner probably would end up being the interim coach until we do bring a guy in.
Step straight into the breach, wouldn't he? Let's be honest. And
I would say so.
As an interim, I think he would do very well.
Yeah. Well,
not sure on a permanent basis because I don't know enough about him. I've got to be honest.
Well, he's got a lot of experience, so he might be the man. He might be the man. Who knows? It's like anyone. You put him into the rest of the season. If Moyes walks, which I doubt very much, you can judge him by that. What he does. At least he gets a bit of an interview, doesn't he? And an apprenticeship of managing a Premier League team for a couple of months and just see how he goes.
Yeah. Probably end up doing to him what Tottenham did with that Ryan Mason. Just keep using him as an interim.
Yeah, until they get the guy they want.
Yeah, the right man in. Yeah. Helen says hi to Happy. Moyes won't walk. He ain't no snowflake, says Mike.
Yeah, I don't think you're right, Mike. I don't think he walks, man. I just don't think that's in him. I don't think he's that type of manager. I think he's only doing it to pressure. That rumours, I don't know where it's coming from, but I just think he's pressuring them to get a contract done.
Mm-hmm. And old man G says he had a left wing on the bench. He did,
Yeah, we still got him, mate. We still got him on the bench.
Lawrence saying hi from Lexington, Kentucky.
G'day, Lawrence.
Lawrence, good of you to join us, mate. Agreed. Putting Bowen up front is making him punch unnecessarily above his weight. Yeah. I mean, with the kind of defenders that we're up against in the Premier League, the likes of your Van Dijks and them kinds of big, heavy, fast players. Bowen's quick, yes, and he's tricky, yes, but he's not as strong as some of them big boys at the back. I reckon Craig Dawson would turn him upside down. Do you know what I mean? So
I just don't think he's effective enough for me as a number 9. But that's the position he's got himself in.
He's got to be that number 7 out on the right for me. That's what he's got to be.
When needs must, when you haven't got a striker available apart from Ings, I suppose he might be a better option than that. But that's it.
Then there's always Divine Mabama with Ings behind him.
Yeah, well,
that kind of worked a couple of weeks back against Sheffield United. Well, kind of worked. Luke saying hi to Lawrence. Imagine the stress levels of a manager being booed as often as Moyes does. Must be awful to keep going. Yeah. I mean, he's quite a thick-skinned bugger, but I don't think he'd be able to take it that long. Hilaire is French, to be fair. Yeah, but he's never played for the French national team. Never been selected for any of the squads.
Yeah, well, Antonio's English.
And therefore, his parentage is from the Ivory Coast. So there you go. Hasn't Scamacca been called lazy by his latest manager? Yes, I do believe he has. I do believe so. Hustle. Cornet isn't enough to go at it for a full game. Yeah. But I mean, listen.
You don't know.
With a player like him, what do? You don't use him for the last 10 or 15 minutes. What you do is you put him on for the first half and see how he fares, see how much more he's got left in him, and then sub him off at 75 minutes. Do you know what I mean? And you put on someone else that can cover that position. I don't know who that is, but, I think the Bowen bid was to make Sully look good after he dismissed it instantly, so I've heard. Right, okay. So that was the 50 million bid that was put in. Hamstring diet. Respect to Antonio, but when he gets the ball, he can't stay on his feet. Bowen playing centre forward will get injured as he will get clumped by centre-halves, exactly what I was saying. So he's pulling out of challenges because he's thinking about the Euros in the summer. That's probably accurate as well. Thank you for pointing that last bit out. Oh, man. Antonio slimmed down muscle-wise. And it would take somebody like yourself to notice that, Happy. Oh, look, and Lawrence has noticed it as well. Antonio is 33. Yes, he is indeed. But like Rob says, Vardy is 37.
Yeah.
Different body structure, though. I mean, when you look at Vardy, what is it? He's more like a Bowen stump type player. I can see Bowen going till he's 35, 36, can't you? You know,
Like Antonio could do it, depends what level. You're looking at Vardy now, he's in the Championship and he's not actually starting most games. He's coming off the bench, you know, because he is at the end, you know, and he's in the Championship. So that's where you know, eventually end up.
Very tough league. It's a very tough league, that is the Championship.
Yeah.
There's not much.
But he's always relied on his pace. I mean, Vardy. He's always relied on his pace, and it's getting slower. It's not as effective anymore. That's life. That's how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
David thinks that Bowen won't get England now because of Moyes.
I think he'll still get the squad, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he'll ever start, but I think
he can't be ignored. He can't be ignored.
You know, it'd be helpful for him to have a good end to the season. You know, next couple of months, it would help.
I've seen remarks and heard remarks from supporters of many clubs around Britain. You know, like Wales and Scottish clubs, and a lot of people are saying that Jared Bowen cannot be ignored for the England squad. He's good enough to break through.
It's just he's got a lot of competition in that where he plays, that's all. And at the moment, he's not playing in that his preferred position either.
Oh, happy being happy. Look, how is everyone this evening? All fine and dandy, I hope. Right. Oh, where did that go? Ask Geezer, Antonio on the wing.
Yeah.
On the left wing, apparently.
Yeah, I like him on the left wing when he goes out left. If you ever go back to watch some of Antonio, even when he's playing up front, when he moves to the left, and some of the good balls he puts into the box, he does all right. You know what I mean? Especially when he switches. Do you know what I remember when Cresswell, when Antonio was doing well, he'd pull out to the left, right, to receive the ball. And then you'll see whoever was in the midfield there would come inside. The actual left winger would come inside of him and they'd link. Say like an Emerson thing with Paquetá. He comes out for it and then you link up. Emerson comes inside him, give him the ball back. Antonio used to do that a lot and it actually worked. You know, it was quite effective. So would I mind him out on the left? No. But it's all about what setup you want. Because if you do that, you've got to put Kudos on the right and Bowen in the middle again. And then somebody else is missing out in the midfield. And who would that be in Moyes' head? Who would you take out?
Old man says that if Antonio had been in the Texas Library, which was the book depository, wasn't it, in Dallas, Kennedy would still be alive.
Yeah. Well, you think he would have missed, Gazer? You think he would have missed? Yeah, it was a bit of a distance. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he probably would have hit the pilot of one of the helicopters above him. Antonio scored an absolutely well from outside the box for Jamaica last year. Well worth watching YouTube. Indeed, it is. It was a screamer against the USA. Just in case you needed to know that much. Robert's got a heavy cold. Sorry to hear that, mate.
Oh, Robert. Oh, you're an idiot, Rob. Must be the weather, eh?
You're taking the piss, you are. Yeah. Fucking 28 degrees. It's a bit chilly today, he says. It's 28 degrees. Code 22 minutes ago. What was 22 minutes ago, mate? Right. Beast mode Antonio doesn't exist anymore, says
Well,
Mark
I'm hoping it
Pendleton.
is, Mark. I'm hoping it's going to have a renaissance, Mark, and come back for us.
He's
Well,
got
more hope
to
than fucking
do
anything else.
something. He's got to do something because,
Yeah.
he's 33 now, and he's got to do something.
Mate,
22
I reckon he
thumbs
can
up
still
in
do
a
it,
minute.
mate.
Thank you.
For half an hour. If you bring him on for half an hour, I think he could still affect the game. That's what I'm hoping. But it is more hope than anything else. But we've got to hope for something because now, I say, we've got a small squad. We need every man on deck. And you just hope that Antonio can come back and contribute. You really got to hope for that because we're limited.
Yeah, agreed. So just to remind people, that WhatsApp number is only WhatsApp. There is no telephone line attached to it. Right.
And you don't mind video.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, please, ladies and gentlemen. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button. It is free. And the bell notification for when West Ham Network put out new content. My nose is streaming. Your nose is streaming. You mean my nose? Man flu. I thought you said Man U for a minute.
Yeah, Man United flu.
Yeah, he's got man flu. Man U. I'm satisfied the Ultimate Warlord is good enough for me. Oh, Antonio. Behave happy. Right, okay, let's... Problem with Antonio is the same as Phillips.
But only in terms of match fitness. I think Antonio is. We're still yet to see whether he's going to be anything like what he could be. We don't know. And same with Phillips. He needs game time to get better. I presume he will, but he's definitely not match fit or up to scratch at the moment. Yeah, he did. I'd say that with you, James. He did in that first half of the season. Jesus Christ, he seemed to be on the fucking floor more than he was standing. I don't know what that was about, But I'm just hoping that he'll come back with something to prove that he can still be effective. That's my hope.
Good point, Luke. I think Moyes needs to get the balance right in midfield because. I don't know where JWP fits with Socek playing. No,
that is an issue, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to work. When we've just got them two there, it doesn't seem to work. So.
Yeah. Should Antonio get minutes on Sunday, he will be blowing out of his beastly bum after 10 minutes. Must be so much unfit by now. Yeah.
Of course he is.
Of course he is. Definitely. Paquetá will be. See, now, hang on. Before we go into that comment, that is why I believe that the reserve game system is at a loss. That's why we missed that. Because, back in the day, Antonio, as soon as you were on the grass, or whatever you want to call it, he would have been playing in the reserve games.
Yeah.
Minutes, and then halves, and then, over a couple of months, he would have been match fit. He would have come back in beast mode.
Even a couple of weeks would have been good, bud, I remember. I remember in the day days to go to reserve games. When I was really young, when West Ham were playing away, and because then I think you only had one substitution. So you only had 12 players that actually went to the away game, and some of them other players that come back from injury. I've seen Bobby Moore play for reserves, Clyde Best, Jeff Hurst. They'd come back with some game time in the reserves before they would take to the first team. So, it was a good thing.
Yeah.
And all the other teams done the same. So you were playing against serious competition as well in the reserves. Much more of a competition than these under-21s. Because I remember not long ago, Yarmolenko had a game with the under-21s when he was coming back from injury. But you're not getting the same competition.
Yeah, yeah. Luca AFC is in the house. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Hey, Luca.
Nice of you to pop in. Happy saying hello. I think our little arse win streak is going to end over this weekend. Yeah. Yeah, they've got a lot to come at us with, haven't they?
Not looking promising. See, I'd say I would put the same in the Man United game, knowing that Paquetá weren't playing. I predicted, when I was with Titch, I predicted we'd lose 4-0. And we lost 3-0. But to be fair, that the first half was decent. I don't think it was a 3-0 loss, even though we're never going to win the game. But it was reasonably predictable what was going to go on. I didn't think we were going to score because I didn't think we had great creativity in the team. And it sort of did pan out that way.
Yeah. Thanks for the info, Mark. The Bristol City Plucky Cup run ended in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, I heard it was 1-1 earlier on. Went out on a penalty shootout.
That was the last,
It's a shame.
Unfortunately, bless them. Fair play to them. They put up a bloody good show against us.
That was against Forest as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And not that was been us, not Forest.
Yeah. So, all right, okay. This is obviously conversation we've missed someone. Cornet has more than 3 minutes in him, though. That's absolutely true.
3 minutes was enough for boys, apparently.
Forest beat Bristol on pens. Origi scored. Forgot all about him, wasn't he? Linked with us? Yes, he was. In the
many moons ago.
Summer, not the last summer window, but the one before that, we were linked with him. And in the January before that, I believe we were linked with him. I was raving about him. I really wanted him. Divock Origi. Yeah. Luke says everyone's been linked with us, Toha. My agent even called me. Oh, look, he keeps disappearing on me. Yeah, that's the wife, yeah. He says, right. Let's see where we are. I'm scrolling down. Geezer, my man, you know I said Antonio on the wing.
Yeah. Like I said, it's anything. At this moment, I'd have him on the wing.
Yeah.
But when you play one up front and you're sitting deep, he doesn't. It's not about where he goes to where the ball's coming out of defence to receive it, because that's your only outlet. So it doesn't matter whether you say he's a winger or a forward, or left wing, right wing. He has to move for where the ball's coming, so he can receive it, hold the ball, and get support. And he's been good in that in the past, very good at it. So it's just having the support that backs him up once he gets the ball. You've got to do it quick. We don't have a lot of pace in our team, unfortunately.
Yeah. Luke's saying that you can't stick these modern pros in a reserve game. It's too risky for a bloke on 100k a week. What? So he just gets 100k a week for just turning up, going on a treadmill, kicking a ball about out in the park, and then fucking off home. Mate, listen, they need to earn their money and they need to get match fitness. And I'm telling you now, there were players back in the day that were really susceptible to injury. Players like George Best, for example, who played as many minutes in a season with the reserve team as he did, in the first team, I would probably hazard a guess at, because the reserve games were a way of keeping match fit and a way of getting match fit, and also a way of the manager looking at at these players, you know, and probably not as many minutes, but you know, they put in a good few, you know, games with the reserves back then. And, you know, we're talking about world-class players doing it, you know, Pele, them sort of players. They all did it. Yeah, I can see a dreadful smashing incoming Sunday. Yeah, hopefully you're wrong. Toa says he predicts a riot.
Yeah, it's not going to be good against Arsenal, mate. There's no evidence to say we're going to turn up and get a result. It's not looking good.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a football platitude, but the first goal is important Sunday. Yes, absolutely. And if we were to go 1-0 down early on Sunday, I don't think that's going to be a bad thing, because we tend to fight well when we go 1-0 down early. Right. Usually. Okay, last couple of times that hasn't been the case, but I mean, look at all those European games last season and the season before in Europa. You know, we were going 1-0 down and coming back, smashing them 4-1 and, you know, 3-1.
Yeah,
it was just,
when you look at Arsenal's position at the moment, I mean, they just had a massive result against Liverpool, you know, where they beat them. And where Liverpool were flying up until then. And they've still got their eyes on the prize, mate, and they still think they can challenge. So these are the games that they're going to make sure they win. They can't be dropping points to any team that's below the top four. They've got to be carrying on. So I think they'll be so up for it now, especially after we turned them over the last couple of games. I think we're going to be up against it. And again, we're missing Paquetá, and he's a big difference. A massive difference.
Jack makes a good point. Jack Flash, thank you for joining us, buddy. David Moyes had his fingers burned before when he saved us from relegation and was then replaced by Pellegrini. He'll want to make sure he gets his contract now rather than put his trust in the board.
Absolutely, Jack. That's why I say if he's threatening to walk, this is the pressure he's trying to put on to sign him up. He wants it now. Not at the end of the season, because the end of the season might not look so good. We might be out of Europa, and we might not be in a European spot. So that doesn't look so good. At the moment, he can say we're still in Europa and we're still seventh. So if he wants a contract to be now, because like I said, I think he sees the writing on the wall for the rest of the season, and it ain't going to be as good.
Yeah. Robin, as far as we're aware, Antonio will be fit. Whether he will be selected or not, we can't say. Steve Hammershark, that's a new name on me. Thank you for joining us, Steve. So many times in our history when we hold no hope for an upcoming fixture, we pull off a big result.
Steve, it has happened, mate. We've done it many times when we just look, oh my God.
It's happened twice against Arsenal this season.
Turn them over. Yeah, it's happened, mate.
Yeah, it's happened twice this season with Arsenal. You know, when we got them in the cup and we beat them, and then we went and beat them in the league a few weeks later, a couple of weeks later. To me, that was, you know, equally as, you know, shocking.
Oh, no, but I mean, the Premier League, that happens every week, doesn't it? I mean, if we all could predict every game, it would be easy, but you can't. There's always shocks here and there.
Yeah.
Looking at this one, I don't think it's going to be one of them. I think we've had our 2 shocks against them. I think the third time is pushing it a bit, especially what Arsenal are trying to do and achieve. I think they're not letting this one go.
No.
Never know.
Mark says that he noticed that Bowen wasn't in the training video today. There could be a very good reason for that. I mean, you know, one of the reasons could be that sometimes when the training videos are shot, certain players are in with the physio or in with a dietitian or whatever the case may be, you know, because during training, that's when all of that happens as well. So, you know, it's not always the case that they're always going to be in the video.
Or Mark, he's injured and they're keeping a low one on it.
Yeah, his left leg's missing from the knee down.
That's it.
Damien, like the idea of Antonio building fitness in reserve games, 30-minute beast mode a week is, as a super sub from him, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah.
And I think
Damien, mate.
a lot of West Ham fans would agree with that. A lot would.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to think he could be doing that for the next few games, coming on for that half an hour and making a difference. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see. But we won't know till it happens. But we do hope.
Yeah. Luke says, don't get me wrong, Budge, but the game has moved on so much. Yes, they all do their work on the training ground. Managers don't want their squad going away on a Wednesday night to Brighton. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
No, I know. But Budgie, what you're saying is which I agree with. Like the training when you're coming back from injury and all that, it was so much better to have reserve game football to build yourself up for the first team, and it was because. It wasn't just West Ham doing it. Every club in the league done it. So the standard of the reserves were basically first-team players. Most of them were first-team players. They were just not. Because you couldn't have a squad of 20-odd on the fucking bench. You could only have 11 and maybe one sub. Then it went to 2 subs. So really, I can only have 13 players. So, but you've got a squad of 20. So the rest of them had to play just to keep them going in the reserves. Now it's moved on. But you can have 19 subs now, can't you? Something like that. So you don't have to throw them all back in reserves now.
Yeah.
But like you said, who knows what these stages? Maybe they want to protect their asset. They don't want them playing in, under 21 games or whatever.
Lawrence, well, thank you very much, young man. That is very, very generous of you. This is for my mates Budgie and Geezer down under.
Mate, you could have sent it straight to me, Lawrence. Fuck me, man. Got a six-pack.
Could have forwarded it to the New Moon. I could have got another few points. But anyway, bless you. Lawrence, you're a legend, mate. An absolute legend. What was that? Hang on. Oh, okay. No, I missed that. Yeah, go for it, mate. What do you think of Soufal having to make his social media private? Well, it doesn't surprise me because there are so many wankers out there that they would give him, grief and they would distract him from his job. So I don't blame him for doing that because, there are people out there that are absolute fucking melts.
Yeah, melts.
And I think they should protect themselves from it. Really, I do. Only a couple of players away from a full squad at the moment. Yep. But that's how it's going to be now until the summer window. And then we're going to be losing anything up to 8 players as well, Damien. So that means we've got to go and literally buy 11 players or 10 players or whatever it is.
And this is my point I said last week, Budge, because the people are going to lose. I don't care what manager you bring in. It's going to be tough. I mean, what happened when Forest brought in, 15, 16, 18, 20 players, and they struggled to stay in the Premier League with it, no matter how many players they brought in. If we're going to have to bring in, at least half a team in, and that's a job in itself. But for a manager to put them all together, it's going to take time. So I think it's going to be tough. Whoever's managers, who's the manager,
we're going to find ourselves in a Chelsea type scenario.
Yeah,
aren't we?
Exactly. Look,
we may even have a new manager, as well.
Yeah.
It could be very, very awkward for whoever is at the helm, whether it be David or whoever.
Pochettino is struggling, even though they had a good win tonight. Pochettino's struggling at Chelsea, really struggling with all the talent he's got. What was that last comment?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Have you seen the latest from Claret and Hugh? No,
Lynn,
I haven't.
no, I haven't. Enlighten us, Lynn.
Yeah, please
Enlighten.
do. I will look for your next comment. Football fans are awful, Ludders, says Luke. Not you, not me, but all the others.
Yeah, you're right, Luke. They're all wankers. A lot of them.
Yeah, and all them players we're going to get, it's just going to be a bunch of punts.
Yeah, punts everywhere, mate.
Yeah, house full of punts. But you've been waiting to use that, Togs. Yeah. Well said, Luke and Taha. Johnson signs a new deal. Do you know he's been?
Yeah, we do.
He's been pretty promising in the last few games. Okay, the other day he wasn't as good as he could have been, but then none of the team around him were that good either. So
he done all right. Again, I saw him when he was on the right wing there, and I presumed he'd brought him in there to the right choice so they could double up on Rashford, you know, between him and Soufal. But that weren't really the case. He had the ball in midfield on the right, but his delivery again from the right wing was poor. It was poor.
Yeah.
But he did get, you got your request, Geezer. He threw him out on the left wing in the end, right, and moved Kudos to the right, but he didn't do any better there either.
Well, no, but he didn't do any worse either.
No, you know? I'm not saying he was terrible. I'm not saying he's terrible, but it didn't change anything.
Mark says massive rebuild coming in the summer. Agreed. Yeah, frightening unless Tim is allowed to do his job properly. Now that's exactly what you've been saying since the moment he arrived in the door. That's exactly what you've been saying.
He has to be. I don't
care who we got. If Tim is involved, I'm happy. That was what you basically said, wasn't it? And
I thought when he came, I thought it was the best signing we'd made for years when this boy could turn up. And because it's, for me, it's the first time I'm seeing West Ham look to the future of where we're going, bringing in good players and young players and these little pearl diving gems. That's what we want. And players that I don't know anything about, and all of a sudden he brings them in and they're great. I'm hoping that keeps going. But like I said, if he had wanted that Osman and it was kiboshed by Sullivan, well, that's not a good look. Let's put it that way.
Steve Hammershark says, can't we still sign out of contract players? Maybe Pop Robson's kept himself fit. Mate, I'd rather go and get Dean Ashton. I'd rather go and get Dean Ashton, mate. Get one game each season out of him.
I wonder if Pop Robson's still alive. Is he still kicking, Steve?
I think so.
What a boy. I loved him, mate. I loved Pop.
Okay, so Robin is saying that Claret and you are saying that Moyes.
Yeah, we did hear the rumour.
So that's the rumour that we were talking about earlier.
So it's coming from Claret and you, which are sort of the ITK type people. Not that I watch anything they've ever did, but I hear that from a lot of people.
I don't think they do like a YouTube channel. I think it's mainly the written word they do, isn't it? Yeah, it's like they've got like on Google and stuff like that. They've got like their posts.
Well, mate, if he did walk, mate, we can you can either blame or pat on the back Nick Killen and Claret Blues, can't we? So he's been running a cracking campaign, mate. I'm fucking giving it to him. So I'm gonna ring Nick up and say, well done, son. Good skills. If he walks, I'm gonna give him all the.
Ron Johnson offered a new contract in coming days and weeks. He's a good lad. Yeah, agreed. He is a good lad. He's quite. Hang on, what happened to you? I can't hear you at all. I can't hear you at all, Kieran. I've lost your sound, mate.
I don't know, is it?
Oh, no, there you go. You're back.
Can anyone else hear me? Right?
Come back now. I've got you now.
All right.
Get the band back together. We don't want that bloody whatever it was he was.
Yeah, right.
How come there are no comb overs like Pop Robson anymore, Steve? Yeah.
Right. That's all they could afford then, mate, was a comb over. Same as Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, Bob
Charlton. That's all they could afford, mate. Now they're in the hairdressers every other day.
Didn't Leeds have a tough nut in the back four who used to have a bit of a Gemmell? No, it wasn't Leeds, was it? Archie Gemmell. Didn't he used to have a comb over?
Who's that?
Archie Gemmell.
Yeah, Archie Gemmell did. I think he had a bit of one, yeah.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
Robin Charlton was the most famous one.
Yeah.
Pop Robson. Yeah, the old comb over boys. Yeah.
Yeah, beats the days of the
now you got Ings. Now you get Ings getting his head drilled and put bits in. Simple as that. What's what happened now? None of that comb over, mate. Just get a replacement.
Yeah, run his head under a carpet. Yeah, under a carpet.
I don't need any of that, mate. I've got plenty of that.
Me either. Look, mine's growing back again.
It might be receding a bit more than it used to be, but, mate, full head of hair. No one in my family's bald, geezer. No one. No. Not one person.
I think I'm the only person that's not. Actually, no, my brother isn't either. But, I mean, my nephew, who's like 28 years younger than me, went bald at 30. Bless his cottons.
If it's going to happen, geezer, it's happening. As simple as that. We just don't seem to have that baldy gene. You know?
Yeah. Alan, thing we started.
What is that? Get back to that last one, geezer. I missed it. That last comment?
That one now?
No, the next one you put on.
That one?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm interested to know what you think the best job Moyes may be able to land should he leave.
Ian, I've already named it, mate. I reckon he could better off go to Palace. Let them suffer. Let Palace suffer with him. All right, that's a perfect job for him, man. They're thinking of getting rid of Hodgson already, so now, because they are woeful, and I reckon he could do a job for them there. I really do.
Yeah. Or somebody like, I think someone like Sheffield United might benefit from him.
Yeah.
Norwich. Norwich would do really well under him. Ipswich.
They're all doing too well, though, geezer, in the Championship, especially Ipswich. They ain't changing their manager, man, for him. No, they're doing all right. But like I said, I think Palace, mate, he's got to go at the end of the season. He's 132, right? He's got to retire, right? He's got to retire. He's got to knock it on the head. And they're struggling at the moment. So, really, he can't stay there till he's 133. They've got to bring in another manager. And why not? If they've got one dinosaur in there, just bring in another one. Sorted.
Yeah.
Sell him now. Maybe Moyes, that's what he's fucking aiming for. He's already got it lined up. Go with the Palace.
Right, so Mark's saying that Claret and Hugh are the voice of the board when they want to get a narrative out there.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's them, is it?
Not necessarily be true. It's just, yeah. Alan says, Steiden, I don't think we have to worry. He wouldn't be bringing in these blokes if he intended to leave. Yeah. That's absolutely right. The club needs to start being more considerate of Johnson's development, focus on one position. Yeah, I agree. Damien, obviously you're a big Johnson fan. I agree with you. Johnson should be kept in midfield, in my opinion. That's his best position. Yeah. He was muted, see? Told you. The bomb boy is back, whoever that is.
That's me.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah.
Because he went to some Bonaventures, didn't he? So,
yeah, of course. Yeah. I think Antonio is one of the guys. Yeah. Yeah. Danny Ings got a top syrup. Yep.
Yeah, he's getting one now, isn't he?
Nice collective. Oh, hello, mate. Corbin. Is that you again? Is he calling you Corbyn?
Oh yeah,
Nobby,
that's it. Call me Jeremy Corbyn. I'll tell you this, Mike. It's a fucking insult. Yeah. That's the worst insult I've ever fucking had, mate. He fucking look like that prick. Fucking hell.
Nobby Styles, another one that had a comb over.
Oh, Nobby, yeah, good pick, Mark. Good
George
pick.
Graham. No, not George Graham. George Cohen. George Cohen had one.
No, I remember Nobby in the World Cup final. I remember that. Can I tell you? Even though I think I told you before, Bud. I'll tell you that story.
Go on.
You know, I played here, on the Gold Coast here on surfers with Jack Charlton's son. All right, so Jack Charlton's son and Jack came over one year. Him and John's mum, and I got talking to Jack Charlton, and he was telling me a story about the England team in the World Cup. Right. About Nobby Styles, funny enough. And then Nobby, they were doing something, they were setting up a wall and all that, and Nobby Styles told him to do that, and Jack Charles said, "Oh, piss off, mate, just go over there." And then he said, Nobby Styles turned on me and started walking towards me. And then Jack Charles was like 6'4" or whatever, Nobby Styles.
Yeah, he was a big
and
old
the
boy,
look on his eyes, right, Jack Charles just run. He said, "Oh, fuck that." He said, Nobby Styles is a nutcase. He said, "You do not want to mess with him, right?" He just ran away from him on the pitch, and now fuck that.
He was actually one of the reputed hard men on the pitch, wasn't he? You know, he was always.
Oh man, he was. Yeah, he said he was hard as nails, mate.
Like him and Chopper Harris and all them lot. You know, they weren't afraid to stick their fucking boot in.
Mate, not say he had no problem sticking up, standing up to a 6'4" giant like Charlton.
Yeah. God. Sammy Lee used to be a bit of an animal on the pitch and all, didn't he? He used to like leaving his studs in. Yeah,
not a tough boy, mate. A good, solid. Yeah, I wouldn't say he was nasty like Nobby Styles or Chopper Harris could be, but he could get him. He did like
to put his studs in now and again, though.
For a little guy and solid, yeah. He put himself about, man. To be fair.
Yeah. Do you know what? The first real proper memory I've got of Sammy Lee was when he was at Bolton with Fat Sam.
When he was at what?
When he was at Bolton with Sam Allardyce.
Right. Was he an offsider to him there?
No. He was second in command. He was assistant manager.
Yeah, right.
And that's when I first remember him. But then, like, I've seen video footage of him since, and he was quite a competitor, mate. Quite a competitor. Right.
Yeah, he was.
I'm just gonna listen in now, guys. I'm usually tired. Behave in the chat, lovies. Right. Yes. We will bore you to sleep now. Happy. Don't worry, love. Actually, we've been going for just over an hour, so we'll probably only do about another 15 minutes or so. Ings would have a comb over if he hadn't been to Turkey. Yeah.
No, you're right, mate. It's a shame, isn't it? The syrups these days. You know the geezer who walks in with a syrup on and you used to take the piss out of him. It doesn't happen anymore, does it? Because you'd really give it to him when you see a geezer with a syrup. Fucking take the piss non-stop, mate. So now they got implants. It's ruined that.
Luke, Ralph Coates was a belting comb over.
Yeah, Ralphie Coates. You know, that was in my head, Lukey. And I couldn't get the name out, but I remember.
I can't even think who it was he played for.
Tottenham. Ralph Coates was at Tottenham, mate. And a cracking comb over. Absolute beauty. Yeah. One of the best dogs. I'd probably put him in number one, old Ralphie.
Yeah, Dempsey, Chelsea player. Brian Dempsey, wasn't it? Was it back in the 70s, early?
Remember the name?
No, late.
Robin, but can't.
Brian Dempsey. But yeah.
Paul Dempsey?
No, Paul Dempsey was.
So I remember the name, but can't remember. But yeah, I think Ralph Coates takes it, mate. He was a screamer.
Yeah, he had a great one. The days of wingers that can cross on the run seems to be at a lost art. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, that's kind of now the job of the fullbacks, you know, like your likes of Emerson and Sufal. That's more their kind of job now. We don't actually have wingers anymore.
Who was good at it was Harry Redknapp when he was at West Ham playing number 7. When he played at the right wing, that he could run across a good ball. He was quite quick as well, old Harry.
Yeah.
Quite quick.
Actually, his son Jamie was pretty good at crossing on the run as well when he was fit. Never trust a man that can't hold on to his hair, says Luke. Moyes is the what, George? Moyes is the what? If my hair goes back any further, I'll start combing my arse. Oh, nice one, oh man, that's brilliant.
Of all the footballers, I think it was Rooney, the first person I ever see had the implanty thing done. Sure, it was old Wayne Rooney. Now it's the norm.
Hang on a minute, right? I'm gonna just hold that. I just want to hold that comment. That's the word I was looking for. Right, bear with me, everybody. I'm just gonna have a look for something. Come on, where are you? I know you're here somewhere.
I'm right here.
No, not you, son. Not you. Right, I'm looking for.
I know you're.
I know. I'm looking for that video. I've got it here on my computer, so.
What do you think of that photo I took of that spider?
Oh, mate, listen.
It
scared that shit.
It's a big boy, isn't he? But there's 3 spiders there, geezer. I just took the photo of him because he was the biggest. But there's 3 massive ones down the side of the house there. Huge. And it's what's the name? I think it was Toby or it said it's like a net is a web. It is. It's like a net. Yeah. It's that thick and big.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Anyway, so Lawrence, ask. Hang on, let me just take the comment off. Where is it? There. Right. Ask and you shall receive.
I want these guys don't even know what I'm talking about. Yo, Rice or Henderson? Rice or Henderson? Name me one name. Yo, you guys are whack. Straight up. There you go.
There you go. Your wish is my command. Right. Next. George, anyone who has Moyes for a manager will live to regret it. Yeah,
well, let's hope it's Palace then, George. They can regret it all they like.
Yeah. Mm. Or Brentford, and we get Thomas Frank. Ooh, wouldn't that be a nice swap? I wouldn't mind having him. I've got to be honest, he's a decent manager. Poor old Palace lost Elise for 2 months, Eze for 2 to 3 weeks, and Guehi is out too. Sounds like us 3 weeks ago. Yeah, bang on, mate. George is saying Bobby Charlton. Yeah, we mentioned him with the old comb.
George, got him on there.
The old comb over here. Damien, someone will with little man syndrome. Yep. Norman Hunter, no, that's a joke. Thank you for joining us. No, he didn't have a comb over. He always had a pretty good dark head of hair, if I remember rightly, Norman Hunter.
I think so.
Norman bites your legs Hunter, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was there. There you go. Right in the next comment.
Yeah. He was nasty. He was fucking nasty, old Norman Hunter.
Peter Lorimer and Joe Jordan, 2 more hard men from Leeds. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peter Lorimer used to clatter people. I remember him.
Not only that, he could shoot from about 40 yards and hit the top corner. Like, what a shot he had. And that was with the hard ball, the old heavy ball. Man, he could hit the ball.
I think it was him and Peter Osgood that were always at loggerheads. I'm pretty sure it was him and Peter Osgood at Chelsea.
Like I said, Joe Jordan as well. He was fucking. He was a nasty. A lot of players in Leeds were like that. Billy Bremner as well. He was fucking nasty little bastard.
Luke reckons Duncan Ferguson would hold his own against all of them. Possibly. Billy Bremner, says Robert.
Yeah, he was nasty, man.
Centre half, Dempsey.
I recognise the name, Steve.
Peter Dempsey.
Is it Peter Dempsey?
Yeah.
Do you recognise the name?
John Dempsey. The chef is in the house. Good evening.
Hey, Scott.
How are you, dude? Dempsey and Makepeace. Yeah, that's a crap TV show that I was forced to watch a couple of times. Jack Dempsey was a boxer. Ralph Coates played for Burnley. Yeah.
I'm sure he played. Didn't he play for Tottenham as well? Ralph Coates.
Yeah, I thought he.
Unless I'm, usual. Head's gone.
Let's have a look. Hang on. Let's have a look.
He might have played for both. I don't know. But I just remember him in a white shirt. I'm sure it was bloody sock. That's what's in my head. But maybe I'm wrong.
Ralph Coates, English footballer. Right.
I'm sure it's top. But I'm sure he played for more than one team.
He did play. There is a heading there. Interview with Burnley's Ralph Coates, so he definitely played for Burnley.
Right. Maybe I'm wrong.
He was at Burnley from 64 to 71, where he was then transferred to Tottenham Hotspur until 78, and then he went to play for St George in 78, and then in 78 he also then went on to Orient. He played a total of 480 league games with 52 goals.
Fair enough. No, he was Burnley and Tottenham, then, yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There you go. I just remember him at Tottenham.
So John Dempsey, let's have a look at that then.
John Dempsey. See. Oh, now it's starting to ring a bell now. John Dempsey.
J-O-H-N.
Got that. Just can't picture his face. The name rings a bell. Yeah.
Oh, bugger it. How many of them did you put in?
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, you're not going to see many bald footballers anymore, anyway. The technology's more advanced now.
Right. Okay, yeah, he did have a bit of a comb over. Oh my gosh, what a lovely hairstyle that is. I wonder if I could hold on, let me open that page up. Right. This picture is Getty's Images. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it. I don't know if I'll be allowed to show it. They're selling it for 375 quid for this picture. I can't show it. If I show that, I'll probably end up getting. Anyway, right? Yes. So yes, he did have a bit of a kind of a comb over,
right.
And he also had it cut like that and then it went bushy all around the outside as well, which was the picture I was going to put up, but it's owned by Getty Images, and I don't want to break any copyright laws, especially not on somebody else's channel, being that this isn't my channel. Okay, right. George was saying Harry Redknapp was very fast, but he couldn't cross the ball. I thought he was pretty good at crossing.
I thought he was, but I said he was bloody quick. I thought he was good. George, maybe my memories, serving me wrong.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, look, I'm going to.
Yeah, Charlie George had a great him.
Who remembers Chelsea Hutchinson? Oh yeah, that was Ian Hutchinson. They used to call him Hutch.
Yeah,
it was
good player.
It was always a toss-up between him and John Hollins when they played at Chelsea together as to who had the longest throw. John Hollins had a really long throw, but Ian Hutchinson used to do the windmills with his arms when he let go of the ball.
Yeah,
he was really good. Yeah. Grass and Upson, John Dempsey. Yep, it was, mate. Thank you very much. Right, okay. What's this? I told my wife I would not give any more money to a channel again, but after I showed her these mugs, she wanted to give 2.
What's that?
Bless you, Mrs. Watkins. We love you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for that, Lawrence. Once again, everybody, we thank you for your comments. I know I didn't get through them all, but I never do. There's just too many of them. I can't cope. Look, they're calling the end of the show for us, mate.
They are, mate. They're in. They've just come in.
Is that the magpie, isn't it, that one?
I'm not sure if that's a magpie or a currawong. The magpie's got a really funny, lovely sound, but that one I think is a currawong. It makes that torpedo sound like it's.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the aerial bomb. The aerial torpedo sounds. Right. Okay. Well, look, guys. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for coming. Alan, thank you. Yes, we will catch you next week.
Cheers, Alan.
Next week will probably be a 10:30 show. PM in the UK, or 8:30 is that? Yeah, 8:30 for you, Kieran. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So if you're anywhere else in the world, you'll have to work that out yourself, because I know that Canada and certain parts of America, like Dallas and that, are 5 hours behind me. So it would be like 5:30 in the evening for you guys. And like Thailand, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning or something ridiculous like that. So we won't be seeing many people from Thailand, I wouldn't think. Anyway, guys, girls, thank you. I know we didn't really chat a lot about what David Sullivan is up to, but none of us have got a fucking clue. So what's the point of speculating?
Mate, if he hasn't got a clue, how are we gonna know?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. So thank you, George. Good night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody.
Say, George.
Please remember to hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you would be so kind, show us a bit of love, and the more likes we get, the more subscribers we get. Well, us two are on the channel, the more you might see of us, you know.
Hey, if you want to throw a comment in the comment section, do that. I'll try and answer. Try and get back to you.
Yeah. We'll both try and get back to you. And also, don't forget, you can catch us too on my channel, which is Green Street Elites. You can catch us on that periodically. Bert and Ernie show and Football Unfocused, I think, is going to come back pretty soon, and just impromptu little shows we might just do. Anyway, Kieran, thank you as always for your time, your insight, your laughter,
and my birdies,
and your political correctness.
It's always, I'm always bang on with that, mate.
You know. All right, buddy. I'll chat to you in the green room afterwards. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Going to play a little video for us.
All the best, chaps.
And we will see you real soon. Take care. Come on, you irons.
Bye-bye.
Hit the like button.